He's trespassing. Arrest him now. I don't care if he claims he owns this ranch." The shrill voice cut through the cool Texas dusk as police lights painted the old family fence red and blue. Standing there, smirking at me on my own driveway, was Cynthia Miller, the self-proclaimed queen of Silver Creek Estates HOA, and the woman who, in the next 72 hours, would discover she'd just picked a fight with the worst possible target. Because back in D.C., in a corner office with a dozen commendations on the wall, I'm Lucas Grant, the federal director who oversees and can dismantle any HOA in America with one signed order. And this smug HOA tyrant just called the cops on me, on my family ranch. After 15 grueling years unraveling crooked HOA empires nationwide, I'd taken a leave to breathe for once. My grandfather spread Grant Ranch, outside Clearwater, Texas, was supposed to be my refuge. Fish in the creek, drink beer on the porch, watch the same stars my father did. What I found instead was a petty dictatorship ruling my childhood backyard. When I pulled up after a 12-hour haul from D.C., exhaustion dragging at my bones, my only plan was to crash on the old leather couch. Instead, I got 2 patrol cars, spotlights, and Cynthia in her HOA blazer, barking at Officer Ramirez to cuff me. "Sir," Ramirez began gently, flashlight in my eyes, "we got a call about an intruder. Do you have proof you own this land?" I didn't even sigh. I just reached for my phone and showed the scan deed. "Lucas Grant, this ranch has been in my family since 1952. My grandfather built that fence with his bare hands." Ramirez squinted at the documents, then back at Cynthia, whose victory smile was sliding off her face. "Ma'am, this property is clearly deeded. It's not HOA jurisdiction." Her eyes hardened into blue ice. She stepped closer so only I could hear. "Your father cost my family everything when he blocked our resort project. I waited decades for a grant to step back here. You have 72 hours to sell, or we'll bury you in violations you'll never crawl out from." She pivoted on designer heels, hissing at the officers to keep an eye on him, then stormed off into the night. Day one of what I would later nickname the Silver Creek Siege began at dawn, with orange violation notices plastered all over my porch, gate, mailbox, even my truck mirror. 52 infractions in total. Grass too tall by half an inch. Driveway too narrow for community safety vehicles. Unauthorized porch furniture, my grandfather's rocking chair, and my favorite, non-compliant coffee cup visible from public road, $150 fine. Each ticket was signed C. Miller, President. Inside one envelope was a handwritten note. "Mr. Grant, you have 71 hours left. I suggest you accept our above-market offer and leave peacefully. Otherwise, we'll do this the hard way." See, at that moment, a knock at my fence startled me. An elderly woman in garden gloves and a sun hat peeked over the gate. "Mr. Grant? I'm Helen Parker. Next door. I saw the patrol cars. May I speak with you?" I wave her in. Over coffee, she handed me a battered folder crammed with HOA violation letters, photos, and lists. Cynthia's ruined 3 families here. One old veteran lost his house over a shed 5 inches too tall. Folks are too scared to talk, but she can't push you around, can she? I flipped through pages documenting years of extortion and petty fines. My pulse settled into a steady calm I knew well. The calm that comes right before you tear an empire apart brick by brick. Day 2, I baited my trap. I fixed my mailbox, perfect regulation height, and made sure Cynthia saw me measure it. Predictably, her golf cart screeched to a stop at my fence. She sauntered up in her HOA windbreaker and a forced grin. "Good morning, Mr. Grant. Making adjustments? Just remember, any modification requires architectural committee approval, which next meets in, 6 weeks." I straightened, tape measure dangling. "Actually, your own bylaws allow emergency corrections to false citations. You'd know that if you read them." She leaned closer, voice dropping to a hiss. "Your father thought he was smart, too. He died broke and broken because he crossed me. You'll be next." She left tire marks in my driveway as she peeled away. I pulled out my phone, thumb hovering over a contact I hadn't used in 5 years. Special Agent Rivera, FBI Public Corruption Unit. If Cynthia wanted war, she was getting federal war. Day 3, the gloves came off. At 2 a.m., security footage I'd quietly installed showed a man, Robert Miller, Cynthia's spineless husband, spraying my prized pecan trees with a chemical that killed them overnight. And in the audio, Cynthia's voice instructing him exactly how and when. By noon, Helen had brought me sworn statements. Other neighbors dropped folders, emails, and secretly recorded HOA meetings. I compiled it all into one digital kill shot. By sunset, the FBI was en route. I sat on the porch, rocking in my grandfather's chair, watching the ranch soak in dusk, rehearsing the final blow. Hour 72, Judgment Day. Cynthia called a surprise HOA emergency vote at the community hall. The room buzzed with forced loyalty and quiet fear. I strolled and laughed, folder in hand. Gasps followed me to the front. Cynthia's shriek cut through the whispers. "Mr. Grant, you are not welcome. Leave now or be arrested." I raised my voice for the entire hall. "Actually, under Section 8 of your charter, any property owner may attend," which I still am. I connected my laptop to the hall's projector. Images of my poison trees filled the screen. Then the security clip rolled. Robert spraying, Cynthia whispering, crystal clear. The hall erupted in shouts and gasps. Cynthia lunged for the power cord, but too late. FBI agents walked in behind her. "Cynthia Miller, you are under federal arrest for conspiracy, fraud, vandalism, and intimidation under color of authority," Agent Rivera announced. As she was handcuffed, she spat at me. "You think this ends with me? You'll regret this, Lucas." I met her glare with the calm certainty that had ended 100 petty tyrants before her. "No, Cynthia, you will." 1 month later, I stood on the same porch, this time without violation notices littering my gate. Neighbors drifted over with pies, casseroles, and fresh-cut flowers. Children played tag by the fence. The fear was gone. Helen sipped sweet tea next to me. "What now, Mr. Grant?" I gestured to the newly hung sign by my drive, the Grant Center for Community Rights and HOA Education. I figured this place should stand for something good, a place people can learn their rights, so no bully like Cynthia Miller ever terrorizes them again. She chuckled, patting my arm. "Your father would be proud." I nodded, feeling the breeze ripple through pecan branches I'd already replanted. Cynthia's HOA empire was dismantled by federal order. Stolen homes returned. Fines refunded. And Robert Miller? He testified against her to save himself, and now volunteers at my new center, mowing the lawn he once poisoned. Sometimes, the best revenge is simple. Live free on the land your father left you, surrounded by good people who remember your family for the right reasons. In the end, the tyrant fell, the ranch stood, and Silver Creek found peace again. And somewhere behind federal bars, Cynthia Miller was learning, day by day, that power built on fear always collapses in the sunlight. Justice, community, home, exactly how my grandfather would have wanted it.